There are seasons when silence feels like abandonment. Seasons when the soil feels too dark, too deep, too hidden to be called anything but a grave. You look around, and all you see is stillness. No light, no growth, no recognition, just dirt pressing in from every side. But I came to whisper something sacred to your soul. You're not buried, you're planted. God has not forgotten you. He has not discarded you. He has not pushed you aside. He has hidden you, protected you, positioned you in a depth that feels like death but is actually preparation. And I know the difference is subtle. The process looks the same. Both the buried and the planted are placed beneath the ground. Both are unseen. Both experience the crushing weight of silence. But only one is destined to rise. You are destined to rise. The darkness is not punishment. It's process. It's the place where God is forming what the surface cannot hold yet. Where the roots of identity are pushed deep into the soil of His presence. Where the noise of the world is muted so the voice of the Father can be heard more clearly. Don't despise the deep. It's the place of becoming. Jesus said in John chapter 12 verse 24, "Unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains alone, but if it dies, it bears much fruit." You feel the dying, the shedding of who you were, the letting go of what was comfortable. But what you don't see yet is the fruit that is being formed in the hidden place. You are not buried. You are becoming fruitful. And I know you're tired. I know you've cried prayers that felt like they hit the ceiling and fell back in silence. But even in the silence, God is speaking. Even in the stillness, heaven is working. Your tears have not been ignored. Your prayers are not wasted. The one who sees in secret will reward you openly. There is a holy tension in this season. You want to rise, but God is still rooting you. You want movement, but God is calling for stillness. You want visibility, but God is forming substance. Do not rush what God is making eternal. Because the roots must come before the fruit. There is no shortcut to spiritual maturity. There is no elevation without consecration. There is no platform without pruning. And if God has hidden you, it is because He intends to reveal something weighty through you. But He cannot reveal what has not first been sealed in the secret place. So stay low, stay surrendered, stay buried in His presence. Because when the time comes, no man can stop what God has ordained to rise. You are not forsaken. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are in the hands of the gardener. And the gardener knows what he planted. He knows the purpose of every delay, every detour, every disappointment. He wastes nothing, not even the dirt. Even the darkness is working for you. The pressure you feel is not the end. It's the beginning. The pain you feel is not proof of failure. It's confirmation of growth. Because things that are planted break before they bloom. They crack open. They push through. And in the pushing, purpose is born. You are not buried. You are planted. And the soil that feels suffocating now will soon testify to your survival. You will rise, not in your own strength, but in the power of the one who planted you. You will rise with roots that run deep and fruit that nourishes nations. You will rise with clarity forged in darkness and faith refined by fire. So breathe, even in the dark. Worship, even in the silence. Wait, even when it hurts. Because the God who planted you has not turned away. He is near. He is watching. He is tending. And at the appointed time, He will call you forth. But for now, rest in the soil. You're not buried. You're planted. There is something sacred about being hidden. It feels lonely. It feels quiet. It feels like God is distant. But what if He is closer than He has ever been? What if the silence is not a void, but a veil? What if the darkness is not rejection, but protection? There are things God can only form in the unseen. Identity, integrity, intimacy. He hides you not to harm you, but to hold you, to heal you, to separate you from the noise so that you remember whose you are. Think of Joseph, dreamer, loved, anointed, then suddenly sold, stripped, and forgotten, buried in betrayal. But Joseph was never buried. He was planted in Egypt, where the dream would be watered by trials and tested by fire. He was not abandoned. He was prepared. Your pit is not a mistake. It is the place of placement. The place of prophetic positioning. And though it feels like death, it is the beginning of destiny. God is preparing you for what you cannot carry yet. He's strengthening the soil of your heart for the weight of your calling. Don't confuse delay with denial. Don't mistake silence for absence. The gardener is always near the seed. You may be hidden, but you are not hopeless. You may feel crushed, but you are not cursed. You may be in the soil, but you are not in the grave. You are in process. You are being formed. You are being made ready. So do not despise the hidden season. Do not curse the quiet season. God is not punishing you. He is pulling you deeper. Deeper into trust. Deeper into intimacy. Deeper into dependency. He is reminding you that your worth is not in being seen. It's in being known by Him. And when He knows you can carry what He has given, He will call you forth. But not a moment sooner. Because premature promotion can destroy what only deep roots can sustain. Let Him build the roots. Let Him strip away the false layers. Let Him remove the things that looked like life but lacked His breath. It is better to grow slow with substance than to rise fast and fall hard. So if you are still in the ground, take heart. It means God is still forming you. Still speaking over you. Still protecting the promise within you. The same soil that surrounds you is the same soil that will one day testify that you were planted by the hand of the Master. And maybe you've been tempted to give up, to dig yourself out, to escape the process. But what if the pressure you feel now is about to give way to breakthrough? What if the root is almost deep enough? What if the soil is almost ready? What if the moment is closer than you think? Don't move too soon. Don't uproot what God is still watering. Don't sabotage your own harvest because you're tired of waiting. This waiting is holy. It's hard, but it's holy. It's not punishment. It's preparation. If this word is stirring something in your spirit, if it feels like it's reaching places that have long been buried under discouragement and doubt, then pause. Let the whisper sit. And if it's blessed you, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Someone else is waiting for the same confirmation you just received. Your obedience might be the seed that grows a forest of healing for someone else. Now let's go deeper. Because God is not done speaking. You see, the soil is not your enemy. It is your sanctuary. It is the sacred place where God speaks in ways the surface could never understand. He does His deepest work in silence. He writes His most powerful words in the unseen. And though the world may overlook what's beneath, heaven watches it unfold like a scroll. This is where roots form. Not in applause, not in visibility, not in affirmation, but in the pressing, in the stillness, in the places where only God sees. And maybe that's the tension you've felt, the battle between your desire to be seen and your calling to be hidden. Between your craving for validation and your need for consecration. But God is more interested in your becoming than your branding. He's not building you for moments. He's building you for movement. Movements begin underground. Movements begin with depth. Movements begin in the dark. Jesus spent 30 years in silence for 3 years of public ministry. The Son of God, hidden, unseen, growing in wisdom and stature. And then, when the fullness of time had come, He was revealed, not a moment too soon. Not a second too late. You are not running behind. You are right on time. Every delay is divine. Every silence is sacred. Every unseen moment is purposeful. You may not understand the timing, but you can trust the one who holds it. And He's not just preparing a stage. He's preparing you to stand on it. He's preparing your voice, your values, your vision. He's giving you a backbone to carry what your heart has been longing for. But He won't release you until your roots can hold what He's planned. So settle into the soil. Let it teach you. Let it humble you. Let it quiet you. Because humility is the foundation of authority. And the hidden life is not wasted, it's weighty. It anchors you in ways that the spotlight never could. When storms come, it won't be your gifting that holds you. It will be your roots. When rejection hits, it won't be your popularity that sustains you. It will be your posture. When warfare rises, it won't be your platform that covers you. It will be the presence you cultivated when no one else was watching. You're not behind. You're being built. You're not overlooked. You're being overshadowed by the hand of God. And in due season, you will rise, not with noise, but with substance, not with striving, but with strength, not with performance, but with purity. So don't curse the dirt. Bless it. It's where you are becoming. It's where heaven meets earth. It's where the seed begins to remember that it was always made to break open. There is purpose in your cracking. There is beauty in your pressing. There is breakthrough in your stillness. Stay planted. The resurrection is coming. Heaven knows what it's doing with you. The gardener has not made a mistake. He placed you in this soil at the exact depth, in the exact climate, for the exact duration needed for what he's growing in you. You've prayed for harvest. You've prayed for fruit. But every harvest begins in the hidden. Every fruitful vine starts with roots unseen. This is not a punishment. It's an answer to your own prayers. You said, God, make me strong, and strength came through breaking. You said, God, use me, and he took you through a pruning. You said, God, I surrender, and he planted you where only he could reach you. There is no contradiction in this. God hides what he values, and he tests what he intends to trust. Do not be afraid of the deep. The deeper the root, the stronger the tree, the darker the soil, the richer the nutrients, the longer the waiting, the greater the weight of glory. And maybe you feel like the world has moved on without you, that others have sprouted while you've remained still. But don't compare your planting season to someone else's harvest. Their bloom is not your blueprint. Their pace is not your pattern. You are on heaven's timeline, and heaven is never late. What God is building in you cannot be rushed. Some things must grow slowly to last eternally. You are not called to sprint through sanctification. You are called to abide. Abide in the soil of His Word. Abide in the quiet of His presence. Abide in the rhythm of His whisper. And the whisper is saying, I am with you, even here, especially here. God is not waiting for you to rise before He calls you loved. He called you loved in the dirt. He called you chosen in the silence. He called you His before a single bud broke through the surface. Your identity is not found in fruit. It's found in the gardener. So rest. Rest from proving. Rest from striving. Rest from fearing you're falling behind. You are not buried. You are planted. And the God who planted you is faithful to complete what He started. He is not rushed. He is not panicked. He is not confused about the outcome. He knows the end from the beginning. And He has already spoken life over your roots. So breathe. Let hope sink deep again. Let trust rise where fear used to live. Let praise grow where despair once ruled. You are in the hands of the one who does all things well. And you will bloom, in season, by grace. And when the time is right, you will rise. You won't have to force it. You won't have to fight for it. The same God who planted you will call you forth. Just like He called Lazarus by name. Just like He summoned light into the void. Just like He formed man from dust and breathed life into the clay. He will call your name in the right moment. Until then, stay hidden in Him. There is a peace that comes from trusting the pace of heaven. From knowing that you are not behind, not forgotten, not overlooked. God sees you, even when no one else does. He sees you sowing in tears. He sees you clinging to the Word. He sees you praying through silence. And He's not ignoring you. He's investing in you. This dark soil, this quiet place, it is not just where things end. It's where roots start, where identity deepens, where the Spirit whispers things you couldn't hear in the noise. You are not buried. You are protected. You are set apart. You are in process. Don't come up too soon. Don't reach for validation before you're rooted in truth. Don't seek exposure before your character is anchored. Premature exposure destroys what slow obedience was meant to build. And you, beloved, are being built. So don't rush the work. Don't curse the quiet. Don't trade process for platform. The weight of your anointing is too precious to be rushed. And the gardener's hand is too faithful to forget where He planted you. He remembers. Every promise, every word, every hidden seed, even when you feel forgotten. He has not moved. He is still there. He is still speaking. He is still forming. Even the silence is sacred. Even the waiting is worship. And even in the dark, you are growing. Let the root go deep. Let the stillness shape your soul. Let the gardener do what only he can. And when the soil has done its work, when the roots are strong enough, when the time is appointed by heaven, you will rise. Not as you were, but as who you were always meant to be. Don't fear the soil. It's the beginning of glory. This is not the end of you. What you call a grave, heaven calls a greenhouse. What you see as loss, God sees as preparation. What you feel as pressure is actually positioning. You are not dying. You are deepening. Let that whisper sink in. You are deepening. Your faith is growing where sight has failed. Your roots are strengthening where answers have delayed. Your discernment is sharpening where comfort has been removed. This is the sacred exchange of the planted. Death for life, brokenness for beauty, silence for substance. And it's happening even now. The darkness that surrounds you is not void of purpose. It is rich with heaven's intent. God doesn't plant unless he intends to bloom. He doesn't sow unless he foresees harvest. And he didn't place you in this season to punish you. He placed you to prepare you. You're becoming something stronger, something deeper, something unshakable. And the process is messy. It's long. It's not always clear. But the voice of the Father has not grown silent. He is still whispering, still leading, still holding. He has not turned his face from you. He has turned his attention toward you. So stay in the soil. Stay in the Word. Stay in the secret place. Let him be your light while you're still in the dark. Let his promises be the water your soul drinks from. Let his faithfulness be your root system. And when lies come, because they will, remember this truth. You are not buried. You are planted. God planted you in hope. He planted you in grace. He planted you in purpose. And no scheme of man, no lie of the enemy, no delay of time can change what heaven has sown. Heaven watches over its seed. And you are his seed. Holy, chosen, covered, becoming. So wait, not passively, but with expectation, with worship, with wonder. Because what you cannot yet see is already being formed beneath the surface. And when it breaks through, it will not just be a stem, it will be a testimony. A witness to the truth that being planted is not the same as being buried. It is hope, hidden. It is promise, protected. It is purpose, preserved for the right moment. That moment is coming. And when it does, the world will not see a survivor. They will see a garden in bloom. There will come a day when the light breaks through. When what was once invisible becomes undeniable. When the same soil that covered you will testify of what it kept safe. When the weight you carried in the dark becomes the strength you walk in the light with. And on that day, you will not rise timid. You will not emerge unsure. You will rise with a roar that only silence could birth. You will move with authority that only stillness could produce. You will speak with clarity that only the secret place could teach. Because God has not been wasting your hiddenness. He has been investing in your foundation. And every root that stretched in the dark will hold you steady in the light. You will not be shaken. You will not be swayed. You will not be broken by winds of pressure or storms of expectation. Because you grew down before you grew up. You learned his voice before you needed a microphone. You learned to stand before you needed a platform. You learned to break before you needed to build. This is the way of the planted. It is the slow, sacred, silent becoming. And though the world didn't see it, heaven did. Heaven watched your yes in the dark. Heaven heard your surrender in the silence. Heaven counted every unseen step of faith as glory. So keep going. Keep waiting. Keep becoming. Because what is coming is not random, it is righteous. It is not accidental, it is appointed. It is not coincidental, it is covenantal. You were never forgotten. You were hidden. And in due season, you will rise. Not to impress, not to perform, but to reveal the glory of the one who called you out of the ground. And the fragrance of your life will not be desperation. It will be devotion, People will smell the soil on you. Not because you're dirty, but because you stayed, because you trusted, because you believed when nothing around you said you should. You are not buried. You are planted. You are kept. You are becoming. You are His. Let the whisper settle into your spirit. You are not a mistake. You are not stuck. You are not too late. You are right where the gardener placed you. And even now, the soil is shifting. The roots are anchoring. The promise is pressing through. But even before the bloom, you belong. Even before the visibility, you are victorious. Even before the breakthrough, you are beloved. He never asked you to prove your worth. He asked you to stay planted, to stay faithful, to stay surrendered. Because this story is not just about growth. It's about trust. Do you trust the God who placed you here? Do you trust the process that doesn't yet make sense? Do you trust that resurrection begins where surrender is complete? This is holy ground. This waiting, this becoming, this unseen season. It's where the oil is pressed. It's where the fragrance of your obedience is released. It's where you become who you were always created to be, not in the spotlight, but in the soil. And when you emerge, you will carry something eternal, something unshakable, something that wasn't built on applause but on altar, something that wasn't shaped by opinion but by presence. That is why He hid you. That is why He planted you. Because what He's growing in you cannot be rushed. It cannot be contaminated. It cannot be compromised. So do not come up too early. Let the seed finish its work. Let the silence finish its sentence. Let the stillness write your next story. God is not done. He's just getting started. And you, child of God, are the evidence that the soil works. You are the testimony that the seed still grows. You are the sign that what dies in God's hands always rises with purpose. So bury your doubt, water your faith, tend to your worship, nurture your stillness, and prepare for the light. Because soon, the ground will break, and you will rise. The soil does not lie. It carries what it's given. It hides what's holy. It keeps safe what's been sown in tears. And God is the gardener who watches every detail, who oversees every inch of your growth. He is not in a hurry. He is after depth. He is after wholeness. He is after glory. You may not understand why it's taking so long, but delay does not mean denial. Silence does not mean absence. He has never left you. Not once. Not even in the darkest moments when the dirt felt like death and the silence screamed louder than your prayers. He was there. And He is here now. You're not behind. You're not off course. You are in the middle of a divine process that is birthing something eternal in you. Trust it, even when it hurts, even when it breaks, even when you feel like quitting. Especially then, because breakthrough is often born at the edge of surrender. When you have nothing left but faith. When your tears have become your offering. When your song is a whisper of hope in a room full of doubt. That's when heaven leans in. That's when the gardener speaks again. He whispers, "You're not buried, you're planted." And when God speaks, things shift. Even if you don't feel it. Even if you don't see it. His word is the rain your soul has been longing for. Let it soak deep. Let it stir hope. Let it remind you who you are. You are not the result of your circumstances. You are the evidence of divine intention. Heaven sowed you here for a reason. To bring life. To reveal beauty. To declare the goodness of God in every dry place. And when you rise, you will not rise alone. Others will follow the path you plowed in the dirt. They will see your bloom and be reminded that the soil is not a tomb. It is a testimony. So lift your head, even in the dark. Lift your heart, even in the wait. Lift your hands, even in the waiting, because He is not done. And neither are you. There is glory hidden in the ground. It does not glitter. It does not shout. It does not perform. But it waits. It trusts. It breathes in the quiet. And the soul that waits there is the one heaven prepares to carry the weight of revival. You were never called to quick fruit. You were called to last. You were called to abide. You were called to host glory, not chase applause. And that calling can only be formed in the ground. So if you feel the tension between obscurity and purpose, between crushing and calling, Between silence and promise, know this. You are exactly where God has you. The dirt is not your defeat. It is your discipleship. You are learning to listen again, to discern again, to love Him again, not for what He gives, but for who He is. This is where the roots grow holy, where the foundation is set not in performance, but in presence, and that presence changes everything. It heals the parts applause can't reach. It steadies the places platforms can't hold. It anchors the identity titles will never secure. Because when you've been hidden by God, you stop craving the spotlight. You realize that being seen by Him is enough. That being known by Him is abundance. That being planted by Him is the safest place you could ever be. So stop resisting. Stop running. Stop questioning whether it's worth it. It is. The buried place is not your end. It's your beginning. And though others may not understand your journey, they don't have to. This seed was not planted for spectators. It was planted for fruit. Real fruit. Lasting fruit. Eternal fruit. And fruit that lasts doesn't bloom overnight. It waits in the dark until the timing of God breaks through the soil. Then, suddenly, things shift. Suddenly, strength appears. Suddenly, the promise is visible. But it's not sudden to God. He's been watching over every root. He's been watering every unseen breakthrough. He's been protecting what the enemy tried to poison. You didn't lose time. You gained depth. You didn't fall behind. You fell into grace. You didn't miss out. You were marked. Marked for slow growth that bears weight. Marked for divine harvest that will nourish others. Marked for resurrection that glorifies the one who planted you. And He will get glory from your growth. So lift your eyes. This is not a grave. This is holy ground. And it's where you are being transformed. You're not buried. You're planted. The voice of the gardener still whispers. It says, I see you. It says, I chose you. It says, I'm not finished. And those words are not faint, they are firm. They are not delicate, they are divine. They echo through the soil and shake the roots awake. You are not forgotten. You are remembered. You are not discarded. You are destined. And every second you've spent in the dark has been counted. Not one tear wasted. Not one surrender ignored. Not one prayer unheard. He's been shaping you for something sacred. A life that does not bow to storms. A voice that does not tremble at fear. A heart that is no longer seduced by fleeting things. You are being formed for fire. For oil. For glory. And it cannot be rushed. It cannot be replicated. It cannot be undone. The soil has sealed your consecration. You are not who you used to be. You are becoming someone the world is not ready for, but heaven has prepared. The enemy tried to bury you. But he didn't realize you were a seed. He tried to shut you down. But he didn't know he was pushing you deeper into God. He tried to steal your voice. But he only increased your volume in heaven. Let this remind you. What feels like death is often divine design. And resurrection is always preceded by burial. So stop calling it over. Stop calling it done. You are not done. You are planted. You are waiting for the signal. For the light of the world to shine just right. For the winds to shift and call you up. And when that moment comes, there will be no hesitation. You will rise because heaven spoke it. And when heaven speaks, nothing can hold you back. So inhale the silence. Exhale the striving. Sink deeper into trust. Let the soil finish its sermon. And let the roots rejoice. You are growing. You are covered. You are enough. You are His. You're not just planted for yourself. There are generations attached to your growth. There are souls waiting to eat from the fruit of your faithfulness. There are dry places that will bloom because you chose to stay in the soil. So hold on. The darkness is deep, but it's not final. The silence is thick, but it's not empty. God is doing something in you that eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. Something holy. Something weighty. Something that will change everything. And when the fruit comes, it won't be fragile. It will be strong. It will carry the scent of heaven. It will speak of process, of presence, of pain turned into power. You will become a living garden. Your life a sign that what is planted by God always grows. You will carry stories in your spirit that can only be formed in the dirt. You will walk with an authority that can only be birthed in surrender. You will speak with a clarity that can only be heard by those who've learned to listen in the quiet. Because that's what happens when you are planted and not buried. You don't emerge desperate. You emerge defined. You don't bloom shallow. You bloom stable. So don't trade stability for speed. Don't rush what God is still watering. Don't force what heaven is still forming. This moment, right here, is holy. Even if it feels hidden. Even if no one claps. Even if it doesn't look like anything is happening. God sees the root system. He sees the obedience. He sees the oil. And He honors it. So rest in that. Rest in the rhythm of the gardener's whisper. He has not stopped speaking. He is still saying, "You're not buried. You're planted. And soon, the bloom will come." Let this final whisper settle deep into the soil of your soul. There is no shame in being hidden. There is no failure in being slow to rise. There is no regret in following God's timing. You are not here to impress. You are here to embody the weight of glory only heaven can give. And that glory doesn't grow in shallow ground. It grows in surrender. In stillness. In silence. In seasons when it feels like nothing is happening, but everything is being established. Your foundation is being forged. Your calling is being carved. Your identity is being made unshakable. And when the moment comes, you won't rise alone. You'll rise with generations within you. You'll rise with a sound of deliverance. You'll rise with a fragrance of holy fire. You'll rise with wisdom that didn't come from books but from brokenness. You'll rise as the evidence that seeds still work. That God still plants. That dirt is not death. That silence is not abandonment. That hiddenness is not rejection. You are the proof. The soil will testify. The wind will witness. The world will watch. And heaven will rejoice. You stayed when you could have run. You trusted when you could have quit. You believed when you had every reason not to. And now, you rise. Strong. Rooted, radiant, because you were never buried. You were planted, and planted ones bloom by fire, by rain, by grace. And you are about to bloom. So take this moment, and breathe it in, the weight of waiting, the beauty of trust, the holiness of being planted. You are not lost. You are located, in the hand of the one who never lets go. You are not drowning. You are being soaked in grace. You are not forgotten. You are remembered by the one who numbers every seed. Let this be your anthem. You're not buried. You're planted. And planted ones bloom in God's perfect time. And when you rise, may you never forget the ground that held you. The quiet that shaped you. The whispers that carried you. Let your bloom speak of mercy. Let your fragrance speak of process. Let your testimony tell the world that God is faithful in the dark. That the soil works. That resurrection is real. You're not buried. You're planted. And the bloom is just the beginning.